Most people always quit their goals long before the year, mostly not because they are lazy, but because the goals were never designed for real life. If setting goals leaves you overwhelmed, quietly disappointed, and behind, this video is for you. At the long view journey, we don't believe in loud resolutions or overnight transformations. Today, we will talk about how to set calm, realistic goals for the year ahead. Goals that fit your actual life, protect your energy, and still move you forward slowly, consistently, and without burnout. The first part of this video will talk about why most goals fail. And then the second part, we will discuss how to set realistic, sustainable goals. So, the first part, let's talk about why most goals fail. Most goals fail because people usually set goals that are not grounded in reality, right? The goals that they set are often based on one of the following: either what they wish their lives look like, or what other people are doing, or thirdly, it could be what sounds impressive at the beginning of the year. Now, any goal that is set based on what you wish your life looks like, what other people are doing, or what looks impressive at the beginning of the year are usually out of touch with reality or things that are happening on the ground. In setting goals, there is always one question that everyone needs to ask if you are setting a goal. And here is the question: the question is about, you need to ask yourself, what does steady progress look like from where I am right now? Now you're looking at your life where you are and you are trying to make progress. So you have to ask yourself, how will progress look like from maybe in the next 12 months from where I am right now? When goals ignore your current income, your schedule, your responsibilities, and your mental bandwidth, they quietly turn into pressure. And pressure isn't sustainable. You and I can testify that. So calm goals work differently, which we are going to look like. They are built to sustain real life and not ideal condition. So setting goals should be built based on your real life and not based on what you deem ideal condition, right? Because if you're going to set goals based on wishes that are not grounded in reality, then there is going to be at a point where you're going to suffer burnout and easily quit your goals. So the second part of the section, this video, I'm going to discuss with you how to set realistic and sustainable goals and the practicalities of it without suffering any form of mental stress or burnout along the process. The first one on the list. So the first way to set a realistic sustainable goal is one, start with direction and not numbers. Now, let me explain this. Instead of setting a goal like how much money you want to make, maybe I want to make 5,000 bucks, 60,000. And instead of setting goals with numbers, set goals with direction. Now, you can set goal that says, what direction do I want my life to move this year, right? So in this year, you're looking at the direction that you want your life to move. That should be your goal. For example, the direction that you may want your life to be one, less financial stress. So you are going to live a life where you don't want to be under financial stress. And that is going to influence how you interact, the choices you make, the financial decisions that you make. Or you can set a goal in terms of direction by saying, I want to be more consistent with savings, right? So this year, you want to be more consistent with savings, or you want to be better at controlling your expenses, or you could set a direction that says you want to be more patient with your long-term goals. Directions gives you flexibility. Numbers still matter, yes. Having the numbers in your goal still matter. But when you start with direction, the numbers will support your real life instead of controlling it. Let's you set a goal about you want to save more this year. Their savings will eventually give you the number that you are looking for. But if you say you want to save maybe 10,000, right? And you want 10,000 and you are not thinking about saving more, it's difficult to actually realize or actualize or bring that particular number into reality. So at long view, we think of goals as guardrails and not deadlines. So if you set your goals as guardrails, it's guiding you in whatever you do, but not deadlines, then you are likely moving towards the right direction. So setting a goal like I want to save more, it's a guideline. I want to save more this year, and probably I'm going to automate my savings anytime I get my paycheck. It is a guardrail, it's guiding you. It never gives you a deadline. But if you say, I want to make this amount of money, it's more like, okay, at the end of the day, I have to get this money. There's some kind of a hard stop to what you want to do, right? So, goals in long view, we see it as guardrails and not deadlines, and that will remove what will lead to burnout in your life. The second way to set sustainable, realistic goals is one, set fewer goals than you think you need. So set fewer goals. One of the calmest thing you can do is set fewer goals. Now you will see that at the end of every year, and then we get into the new year, people have a long list of goals that they want to achieve. Most people overestimate how much they can do to change in a year, and others to underestimate how powerful consistency can be. So instead of setting a lot of goals, in long view, we recommend you set fewer goals. So instead of 10 goals, we recommend or I to set 3 goals. And here are the 3 goals category. One of your goals should be based on financial progress in your life. So goals on finance, one goal on work or skill related, another goal on personal or lifestyle goal. So you want to talk about weight loss, you want to do more exercise. So your goal should be based on these 3 areas: finance, work, and that of um lifestyle. Or your work could also be about skill learning or skill improvement. Now, each goal should answer this question, right? If your goal does not answer this question, each goal that you are setting in these 3 areas aforementioned, then it might not be the realistic goal. But if your goals answer this question, then you are in the right direction. Which is, if I made quite steady progress on this for the next 12 months, will my life feel meaningfully better? Right. So if you set the goal and ask this question, if you made a lot of progress in the next month to come, in those areas that you've set your goals, will your life be meaningfully better? If yes, you are in the right direction. If no, you might consider changing the goal, or probably it's not the right time to set that goal based on your current situation or financial standing. Now, there is no price for carrying more goals than you can sustain. And that is the reality I've seen from a lot of conversation I've had with colleagues. A lot of people have dozens of goals that they can actually sustain, and you don't get rewarded for having tens of or thousands of goals that you cannot sustain. So set fewer goals that you can sustain and maintain and make progress in lines of. The third one here is the third one to go with is turn your goals into systems, right? Turn your goals into systems. Calm goals are really about motivation. If you're setting a calm goal, it's not about motivation. They are about systems. Systems work better, right? Instead of saying, for example, I want to save more money this year, right? Instead of saying, I want to save more money this year, try this instead. I will automate a small savings transfer every time I get paid. How do you do that? These days, there are a bunch of apps that you can use with the help AI that will deduct automatically into your bank account, some savings account somewhere whenever you get a paycheck. If you're in Ghana, you know about MTN app. They have this savings plans that they have. You can automate that maybe every month. Just take 20% of my pay into a savings for me, right? So automate that transfer to save money instead of just vaguely saying, I want to save more. Or instead of saying, I want to be healthier this year, simply say, I will take a 20-minute walk 3 times a week. This is more practical and realistic. Systems remove daily decision making. For example, if your goal was I want to be healthier this year, every day you have to think about it. What do I have to do to be healthier? Every day you need to make that decision. But if you set your goal like I want to take a 20-minute walk every 3 times in a week, you don't have to think about the decisions that you need to make. You know, it's a system and it regulates how often you are going to follow through with that goal. Now, the systems help remove friction and they make progress feel a little bit boring, but boring progress is more sustainable than motivated one that easily fades away. So the fifth thing you have to do in order to have a sustainable, realistic goal is plan for obstacles calmly. Yes, obstacles will happen. Real life will interrupt your goals. That's not failure. That's normal. If there are real life situations that interrupts your goal, it means it's normal. A calm way to approach it is to prepare for this obstacle, make up your mind, and ask yourself this question: what is most likely to get in the way, and what will I do if it happens? So the goals you've set, you ask yourself, what are the obstacles, the obstructions, and how you're going to go about it. For example, if I feel overwhelmed tracking probably my expenses, maybe this year I say I want to take care or control of my expenses. So I want to write every expenditure that I make, and you find it overwhelming to track these expenses, then just make up your mind, okay, when this happened because of life and its unknown set uncertainties, then what I will do is that I will track only my biggest expenses. So yeah, instead of tracking every single thing, life happened, you become frustrated, there are some obstacles, then you have a way around it to say, then I'll track my biggest expenses, right? And if you probably your goal about taking a 20 minutes walk 3 times a week, and then something life happened, right? Uncertainties, you're not able to do it in that way. Instead of saying you are catching up, simply resume, right? To catch up, this removes guilt. If you want to catch up, oh, I missed last week, I have to do this, simply resume, because continuation does not require perfections for it to exist. We know life is not perfect, and therefore those obstacles will happen, and you just need to go through it gradually. The fifth thing is that measure your progress steadily. So to have a sustainable, realistic goal, you need to measure your progress. You don't need to track everything that you're doing, but you need to measure it. So whether weekly, maybe I want to be healthy this week. Was I able to do it? If not, let me resume. So measure your progress. Now, the goal of the year ahead isn't supposed to be transformational, as we always want to set our goals, but it should be alignment. It should align with reality. It should align with our current state and make steady progress, so that this year's alignment will not be the same as next year's alignment, right? The reason why you keep repeating those goals every time, every year, in your life, you keep setting a particular goal. This year, last year, it was there. Next year, likely to be, because you are setting a drastic transformational goal, a goal that is not grounded in reality, a goal that does not fit your current mental bandwidth, the goal that you cannot do anything about it. That's what you've set, and therefore you are likely not to achieve it. And so, in the long view, we are giving you realistic advice about how to set goals to achieve it. It could be your financial goal, it could be your health goal, it could be a lifestyle goal, it could be any goal. You need these steps to achieve this. So over the video again and pick up the key points that you to set sustainable, realistic goal. But remember, the only reason why most goals fail before the year even breaks even is because those goals are usually not set in alignment with reality. They are set out of wishes that do not align with the reality of the person. If you have watched up to this far, kindly subscribe and then give me a comment. Also share the video if you resonate with you to your friends to also get the knowledge. Thank you. In the long view journey, we talk about steady, real progress in life.